Alright, just a real quick short live, possibly live on the drive. I think there's a big glare. Yep, there's a glare coming in from the window. That's what that is. We've got the laptop open, just to cast a little light. We are on a job, 2-day job, just trying to wrap up. I don't have tinted windows, it's not going to block that. 2-story, 1212, 50 square, I think is what it was, somewhere around there. It's pretty good size. I don't know if it'll, it's probably too dark to show, but got all the 2-story down. A lot of landscaping we had to cover up, set up. Toe boards, cover the gutters. Gutters were brand new, so you got to be careful of that. It's just really slow going on this one. Got a little more than half of it done, the hard stuff done. The bay window or breezeway, back sunroom area, there we go, sunroom coming out, it's done. All new flashing, had cedar wood boards coming down with the coil stock flashing all the way down. So it had some bad wood down there we had to replace. But all new step flashing going up, everything. Tomorrow will just be the garage and a portion of the breezeway area that connects to the 2-story house. So not much to do. Still be a decent day tomorrow. I've got the 16-foot Liberty high side trailer here. It's pretty full. It's a little 2/3 full. Able to get the whole job in, but it'll be a big load. Good job for this airbag system I got on the truck. And we got another job getting set up. Should be, I don't even know. I estimated this next one in like 3 different structures. I don't know what the total is. That one actually came in as a leak call months back in like March. We're just getting ready to get started on that. Nobody wanted to touch it. Nobody wanted to quote it. A couple guys said they'd quote just this ridiculous amount for skylights, 3 big skylights. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I can do a repair, but I'm going to have to figure accordingly for what we got going on. But when I got up there, I noticed there was really bad hail damage. And apparently this is one that a lot of storm restoration companies missed. Took pictures of it, showed them, they filed a claim. That's when we're finally getting ready to get worked in. That one's gonna be a little slow going too. It's got wood cedar siding going down, 3 bay or dormers in the front, little walkout porch, but it's all 1212 other than the porch. It's got a detached barn structure. It's 1212. Pool house, pump house. We got all that to do. The 3 big skylights. So it'll be a fun one. Probably wrap that up on Saturday. It's today Thursday. I don't even know. I'm losing track of my days. Let's see where chat is. If anyone's in chat, if anyone said anything. Top message, all messages, no messages. So I figured I'd just do it real quick, live on the drive. We're just cleaning up the ground. Gonna leave everything in the driveway here. Homeowner doesn't need in. That way you just get a fresh early start tomorrow. Got to dump the other trailer from the full resheet job yesterday we did. I don't know if I covered any of that. I really need a tinted window. But anyway, we're all loading up, getting ready to go. Get ready to get out of here. Came back to drop off a bunch of produce from the garden for the guys. I got way more than I know what to do with. Let me know in chat real quick where you're watching from. Who all's in chat? We got probably a, I don't know, 15-minute drive home. We're in a cul-de-sac, so it's extremely tight getting everything in and out. It's one of the tightest cul-de-sacs I've been in. The deck over trailer kind of jackknifed the crap out of it this morning trying to get it in here. Well, I didn't really jackknife it, but it was very tight. Alright, there we go. What's up? Is that Samara? I can't read that, it's really dark. Dancing Alone with Rentals, I remember that name. OE Thunder? I'm heading home, I just pulled out of the job. We're on a 2-day job. And today was my day today. Got the trailer loaded down with like 50 square decking, all the accessories, cap, starter, apron, edge, some stuff I'm buying in bulk to keep at the shop. So I had all that ready to go last night. Had to get the shingles on the way to this side of town. Dropped it off, had a couple of leak inspections to go look at. The worst debris dam I've ever seen in my life. No shit, a tree growing off of their roof. 1212 Valley with a pine tree and needles got stuck in it. That was kind of crazy. Then from there, had to go up north to Lucerne. We did a job a couple days ago. One of the guys took a gutter off of a section that poured from one section down to another, like a drain tube. Somebody on the ground didn't realize it, damaged it, threw it in the trash. So I had to drive up there to go fix that. $20 part, but like 3-hour round trip. A few more inspections and estimates on the way. Gave the old new software I'm using what was it, roof squares for sales on a property. It was a significant difference, but on this one it had a big tree obscuring a flatter section and some brows. But the other thing I noticed, so one of the higher ups there, I don't know how big the company is, but somebody emailed me and said, hey, thanks for doing a video of our product. Do you care if we share it on our social stuff? I was like, oh, that's fine. I need to reply to them and also see if they wouldn't mind if I try it out and do an actual dedicated video. But I noticed with the software, it might just look at the structure of a 2D image, factor in the pitch, which is good, but it does not account for overhangs. So this house was pretty sizable, but it did have 3-foot overhangs everywhere. So that 3-foot overhang was obscuring a brow down 74 feet of the front and the back of the house, some other areas, and it was off. That measurement came in, I think it was around 55 maybe, and my roof sketch measurement did also take tape measure up and verified. About 95% of it I measured. It came out to be like 70 something square. So pretty off on that one, but for the majority, I'm pretty impressed with that software. Hopefully I have some more time to shoot that. I've got all these ideas coming to mind, but you can see I'm doing a live and we're driving home at 9:15 p.m. Just got dark here. I better leave that laptop open or you're not going to see me. How's the signal? Audio and video good? Heading home to wrap up my day. Jump in the shower, eat dinner, go to bed. Boy, chat is quiet today. Got any questions? Anyone got questions? Oh, you're at your desk? Can't see what your name is. Oh, with rentals? I remember talking to you in the past. Laptop's up so you can see me on camera, but it's blinding me from seeing the screen. Put a disclaimer out. I'm not distracted. I'm on a hands-free device. Actually, YouTubing, vlogging, going live, whatever you want to call it, it's really nothing when you do multitasking in a cockpit. So there might be times where I just zone out. That's because I'm paying attention to what I'm driving. Where's my winter? When does the winter begin? So winter typically, we start slowing down. It varies on the year. I think last year we did a few emergency jobs up in December right before Christmas, which I'm still owed on one of those jobs from an insurance company not paying, which as soon as I figure out that a little bit of detail get paid, we're going to put a video together about this particular insurance company dragging their feet and not paying. But back to when does our winter ensue around here? Later this month, well, this month's almost over. Next month, September, the bean fields start drying, the corn starts to dry, the farmers start bringing in late next month. Early November, corn starts getting shelled. That's when the dust flies, cooler nights. We still work up through those months. November, we really start slowing down. We're doing a job or quitting a job out in the country. We're not going to do it until spring. It's way too risky. It's not going to stick down. Unless there's like an Indian summer coming predicted, 67 degree weather, we'll try to sneak it in if it's important. But other than that, we really put the brakes on in the company. More emergency work and repair work. But I would say by Thanksgiving, mid-December, we're pretty much done until March, April-ish. This year we started up earlier because it was a really mild winter here. I think we did a handful of jobs back in late February, early March, because we had some really good warm temperatures, and we were full bore by April. I'm going to try to read that last comment there. What shingles do we install most of the time? Owen Corning duration. That's what we've done pretty much this entire year. Done a lot of it over the years. I've also done a little malarkey way back in the day. A little bit of ICO, Dynasty. Wasn't a big fan of it. Was having a little bit of issues. Way back in my career, when I worked for other companies, it was all Tamco. It's the worst shingle ever. But if you're a follower for any length of time on the channel, hey, it's my former boss. blatantly ignore you. You know they're a good person, a good human when they just turn their shoulder. True story, he just went by right there, just turns his head and looks away. But there were days, daylight, dead of the afternoon, I look over and wave and he turns his head away like, oh, you didn't see me. You know who you are. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, it just goes to show who he is. If he's that little of a child, it can't, he ran me off. He ran the whole crew off. I want to thank him. But, anyway, so Tamco's actually changed a lot. I haven't had a chance to put the mock-up board together. I've been doing this crap. I haven't had a chance to really film much lately. That's why I figured on the way home I'd do another live for you guys. GAF, oh yes, so when I worked for him, he did a lot of GAF too, and I'm not a fan of it. GAF, shingles I've got on my house with a limited lifetime, blah 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 blah, best warranty in the industry. Multiple sales reps come out, oh, kick the can down the road, you got plenty of time. Do it in 49 years, do it in 45 years. So yeah, I don't ever recommend GAF because their warranty sounds good, but means absolutely nothing. Oh, Resane, Toby, Owen, corn integration. Imagine that you're answering to somebody. It's hard for me to see the screen. Let's see if Marcus is in the house here. Usually he chimes in. He's a guy that lives here local. I was going to ask him about some upcoming race. I went past the Kokomo Speedway and there were a shit ton of campers and people setting up and getting their tailgating ready for whatever weekend event's going on, like at 10 o'clock this morning. Asphalt shingles for about 50 years. You've been doing it for 50 years? That's a long time. Or you have trouble believing. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's not going to look good in 50 years, but they say it will still be working in 50 years. But the problem is the warranty states for anything goes wrong, workmanship, quality, material, anything, right? You pay extra for this warranty, they're going to take care of it. And I literally have had different sales reps out to the house and just act like they don't want to do a damn thing about it. That's my problem with them. But yes, to answer your question, yeah, no shingle's going to last 50 years. It's all marketing. How much more can they sell now, putting this belief in people's head that they're going to have an asphalt shingle last 50 years? It's not. So they sell a lot of work, they invest a lot of it, they do whatever, their CEOs have corporate jets, they fly all over the world and have a great life, but yet in 10 years when the product has an issue, in my case it's a color issue, it looks horrible, and it's popped up 2 or 3 years after the install, nothing to do with the install, it doesn't leak or anything, it's just a piss poor quality granule. You know, their excuse was, oh, the oil's leached into the granule, give it 6 months to wash out. I'm like, you don't understand, it was not there during the install, wasn't there the first year, it came and developed later. Whatever the case may be, they're not doing anything about it. That'll give a good true testimony of if they're going to cover it or not. OE Thunder. What about Malarkey Legacy? Currently getting that installed. Got a light in traffic right here. Now the screen's bouncing around over the bridge. Give me a second. I'm on a little bit of a rough road. My phone is shaking around. Oh, you're getting it on your house. Malarkey's pretty good. I did a lot of that in 2001, 2002, because a lot of the OC was allocation and shortages. Couldn't find it, couldn't get it. So started using that. Did a lot of Highlander and Vista. I only did one Legacy job up in Peru. Next time I go through Peru, I'll have to drive back through. This a few years ago. It's a good product. SBS shingle, stuck down, good. Had no issues with it. Like the tapered shin. I like it. A couple of big comments came in. I'm gonna have to read that here in a minute. Get a red light, maybe. I pay for a system warranty on every roof. We do. can't read your name in the comment. Hang on, I'm coming up to a red light here. Corning, all those. Oops, go back. Also, things that happen because of that generation survey on their website every time you buy a warranty. Hey, what's going on, Keith? Yeah, so Keith, you're referring to what I was just talking about my house. Yeah, so it didn't look like an oil press into the granule. It popped up later, so I don't know if it's a true coloration issue. UV destroyed some of the shingles. I have no idea, but you can see the courses in the shingles that were affected. But yeah, either way, they just don't want to do anything about it. Loved him and Batman. I'm not sure what that is. Or you're saying in theory they don't fade? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I have no idea. I'm not a scientist, a chemist. I don't study UV rays and all that and how it affects things. I just know it's bad for my skin as much as I'm in it. Just got home relaxing and saw you were streaming. Yeah, I just left the job site. I can't believe I used to do that shit every day. 8, 12, 16 hours a day. Started roofing in 2000. Here we are, 23 years of roofing. It's starting to take a toll on me. When I was little, I used to think I was invincible, and all these old people, they just don't have life figured out, and I'm going to be invincible all my life. Big rude awakening. 25, still feel good. 30, you're like, man, I don't feel quite like I used to. I get cut, doesn't heal right. Shit turns nasty. Just 35, like, wow. Start realizing at 40 comes and goes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just as bad as they are. I'm not invincible. Oh my God, my life's half over or more. Wow, shit, 22 people out there. Only 3 thumbs up. How's everybody doing tonight? Live on the drive, Grand Roofing, heading home from a job, 2-day job. Another tomorrow. I'll try to do a live tomorrow between this job or the one we're going to start shifting people to. Got a lot of miles tomorrow too. I'll read this one here in a minute too. Actually, I might just pull over to a gas station up here and read through a few of these. I don't want to pull in the drive because the dogs will start barking and waking everybody at the house up. I had no intent working this late. Wanted to try to get home before my daughter went to bed, but that didn't happen. I'll read these last few comments here in a minute. I'm like really thirsty for something too. Oh my God, I got underwater here. Forgot to grab this. Bear with me just for a minute. We're going to pull over to the gas station for a few minutes. Hopefully I don't get a crazy glare. There we go. Now I can read some of these here. Turn my laptop light back on. Organic pigment tend to be okay. Food. Huh. Maybe I might look into that and see exactly. As far as I know, I thought they were like, when I was little, I thought they were just mined granules and they like find certain color granules. And then I thought they like made them ceramic coated with coloring and make certain colored granules, and they put those colorants in the drop of the shingle and make their shingle colors. And then I knew that they put like some manufacturers do copper oxide, things like that. So I really don't know what all the makeup is of the shingle granules, but I would not mind looking into it. Wait till you hit 60. Boy, at 60, I'm going to be retired. I'm about to retire here in a few years. Even born again. Okay. $1986 mofo. I like that. Appreciate it. Any other questions? What time is it? 9:30? Yeah, they're in bed. What are the granules or what are the same pigment used? Zip roof sheeting? No, can't say that I have. Are you talking about the... I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm thinking like the green board they do subsiding with, where it's, I don't know. Never used it. Just basically CDX and OSB around here. Gavin Wilk, looks like. Starting out, who would contact for jobs, man? I can't read this. This laptop's too bright, but you can't see me. Let me pull a little closer here. Starting out, who would contact for jobs? Like when I started, who would contact me for jobs? If that's what you're asking. Or are you new and you're looking and asking? Oh, Keith, you're saying, yeah, but it looks like it's brown and oranges. No, I've not seen anything like that around here. Just the home builders putting up new subsiding that's got like this, looks like OSB with a green material on it. Do we do metal roofing? Yes, we do some. We don't do a lot of it. We specialize more in an asphalt. Asphalt's really big in my area here. We have no clay. We have some roll form, some standing seam, very little Decra that I've seen within a 50-mile radius. Just not a lot of other things. It's not like the coastal regions or hot areas. Yay, Nick. New and looking, Gavin. So Gavin, I had roofed for a long time in my town here, and a lot of people knew me. So when I went off on my own, a lot of people just were calling for stuff. Word of mouth started getting out. Take anything you can get to an extent you want to be profitable. Put flyers out, get business cards, look pretty professional. I mean, you got to start somewhere, but you don't want to be duct taping your truck up. Even little flyers at gas stations out in rural areas, they still do good. Hell, 2 people today I dealt with, they don't have email. So it's like, okay, do you have a smartphone you can get pictures with? So there's still a lot of people that are old school that will pluck those little things off a flyer. Word of mouth, social media, anything you can do. I had no idea when I started this YouTube channel years back that it was going to lead to roofing. I'd actually sell a lot of roofing jobs just because of the YouTube channel. And I'd probably sell a lot more if I would drive farther, but I've sold some in Kokomo, Lafayette, Lebanon, Frankfurt, just because of the YouTube channel. Indianapolis area, people call me. I had a guy message the other day, I haven't even had time to reply. So if you're watching this, I apologize. Just, here I am live streaming, heading home. I'm gonna have to look into that, Keith. So you're saying it's the same company that does those green boards? Next time I go buy one, Sheridan's got a big development going in right behind the Sheridan Library, and they've got a lot of those green board sheeting going up. Hell, I think I was in a neighborhood yesterday here in Kokomo, big neighborhood going in, and they're using a lot of that stuff. I'll have to pay attention to it. Did I see the Rudin brothers that do free roofing in Canada on YouTube? No, I've not heard of them. The only guy that does stuff free on YouTube that I've seen, it pops up on my streams, a landscaper. It just goes up to abandoned homes and cleans the neighborhood up. I might try to cover some of that. We're getting ready to do 1 or maybe 2 roofs, either heavily discounted or free. Kind of the veteran give back that I'm trying to do. The problem is I don't want to show that for like, ooh, look at me, because it's not what it is. I'm trying to give back. So There's one family, it was a pretty expensive job because it needed all new decking and everything, and I told them we'd cover it. We have a thing on our webpage where people can nominate a veteran in need, but it's not about me, so I don't really want to show a ton of that, and some of these people don't want to be shown. But we do stuff like that too. Yeah, Gavin, if you're new, I tell other people this. It may have been you in the past I talked to on here. I don't know, but there's going to be people that are going to try to tear you down, say don't do it. Don't listen to them. If you have a big enough why, go out there and beat the bushes until you make it. Just pay attention when you have a problem. Pay attention on how to improve the problem so that doesn't happen again. From every aspect of the company, you get complaints, fix the complaints. You have issues with not being profitable, figure out why you're not profitable and adjust those areas. Fix what you need. Calvin, knock on doors, what? Are you talking about the guys in Canada knock on the doors and ask people if they can do a free spouting job? Huh. Do you guys use synthetic underlayment, SO, staple, ring shank, or plastic caps? Plastic cap nails every day. We get them from Reese in these totes right here. But these totes are also, they double really good for carrying produce from the garden. There's another one. Another Reese tote we get done. I buy them by the pallet, and it's full of produce. This one's got peppers and some yellow tomatoes, some purple wonders, Hungarian wax. I had 6 of these filled up, dropped them off to the crew. We got a lot of zucchini going into the brownies later, and the smaller, tender ones are going to be grilled up this weekend. But cap nails, stay away from staples. I don't care if you're doing black paper or synthetic, do not use staples. You're going to run into a lot of issues down the road because they never embed perfectly. And on a hot summer day when that's sticking up, that shingle's going to heat up and go boop. And I've seen a lot, and it's little trickles and leaks and rotting out the decking. By the time you get the call about it, there's a lot of bad issues. So stay away from staples. They're absolute crap. Hand nails or coil nailers. I would say the name, but I'd really get made fun of for mispronouncing it because that video has gotten over 1 million views and people commenting daily that I don't know how to say Matoba, whatever, however the hell you say it. I said it wrong. Go ahead and comment. Even those manufacturers say can shoot it, they blow through. They don't lay flat. They stick up. Just cap nail, really good. Holds down. Has a big high surface face area to pin the synthetic down. Works great. Any tips for getting more subcontracting work? Hernandez, are you referring to you're a sub and you want to get more jobs, or are you a contractor looking for subs? Can you elaborate just a little bit more on that? Any tips for getting more subcontracting work? Or are you a contractor wanting to sub from other contractors? You know, every now and then I'll do a job for another company, as long as the numbers work out, and it's a win-win for everybody. But as far as any tips, I mean, if you're a contractor, wherever you're watching from, go knock on some, well, I wouldn't knock, I guess, reach out to property managers. I've done a lot of work over the years for property managers. Just be careful who you work for. There's some good, there's some bad. Have good terms. Realtors, I'm not a big fan of the realtors. I have worked with some, and there's a few I will continue to work with. Shout out to you, you know who you are. But there's a small list of realtors that I would work for. There's a bigger list that want to use you, act like your buddy, have you run around like a chicken with your head cut off, but never goes anywhere. So caution you with realtors. I need to just sit and think of the things that I've done over the years and compile a video about it. You're 16 years old and looking to start pressure washing business. And skillet? Can't see that very well. Well, that's a pretty badass endeavor for 16. go after it. That's one thing I want to teach my daughter and nieces and nephews at a young age. There's so much opportunity out there, so much business out there, and they don't teach you anything in school about how to be a good employee and a good slave to society. You don't realize it, but you got shackles on your hands. You're going to get a little bit of a pay raise, maybe a promotion, get that new car, get a house with a 30-year term, maybe a 40-year term now. And yeah, you're a product of the system. Be your own boss. I mean, it really is this simple. Just find a need in the market, listen for it, find it, and fulfill it. That's all it is. I became a multimillionaire doing it. Okay, yes, just be careful within your cleaning chemicals. They can sometimes damage things. Yeah, you definitely want to be careful with what you're putting onto it, especially if it's any kind of like possibly a citrusy or a oil base. For sure, petroleum base is going to eat the shingle up. I don't do any roof cleaning at all. Do you, or how do you feel on hiring door knockers and canvassing that inquiry for it? I'm not big on that. I've never knocked doors. I've put out door knockers before where I'm not knocking but just hung it, and I'll never do that again. After an afternoon doing that, my feet and legs were killing me. Got no calls out of it, probably no brand awareness out of it. If you're going to do something like that, I would encourage you to go to your local print shops or postal service, and you can pay, give them the graphic, or have a print shop make it and give it to the post service. But that's why I'm saying print shop. Most of them are set up with the postal service where you can pick a demographic zip code or whatever, and they will just post and mail them out. It's not worth it. I even thought, run the math years ago, of paying kids to walk in the neighborhood and put them out, but you never know if they're really going to do it. Just throw them away. It's just not feasible. It's way cheaper to have the mailman do it. Mitchell Davis. Hey, Brian, how do you learn how to identify leaks so well? Just years of experience in finding the leaks and fixing leaks. I mean, just think about the water and how it gets in and where would it go with wind, gravity. I mean, there's really not a lot of factors. The pitch of it, if it's a lower slope, it has more lateral movement. The keyway offset pattern. I mean, it's some basics with roofing. There's not a lot to it. Just pay attention to it and just continually learn. And when you see one leak and you see the remnants of it, you're like, oh, okay, it just built up that arsenal, that war chest of knowledge. I mean, you can walk up on a roof and pretty much find them pretty easy nowadays. The problem is not identifying the leak. The problem is getting a customer to see that you can fix it and justify the cost and the knowledge you have and why it costs what it does. When they get an estimate from somebody else that goes goopity goop goo, and they get the job because they're cheap. Do I have a labor minimum? It depends. I mean, sometimes things will change if it's a busy road, good marketing and advertising with the yard sign. Is it somebody I know? Is it a friend of somebody I know? I try to have a minimum. I mean, there's a lot of shit that I do. Like if I go to a house to look at a leak and it's something so minor, I'll just take care of it. Like this one I looked at with the tree growing up the debris dam. I just pulled all the debris dam out. Took me a few minutes. Said no charge. Not a big deal. Every now and then it'll be something like just putting a little secondary cover over a vent pipe, no charge. I'm not worried about that. But as far as like a labor minimum, boy, when I started the company, I needed to make $250 a day just to cover the bills to get the thing going. And some days you make more, it covers the days you don't make any. Now I'm thinking, wow, now I got so much more to cover. I think my operational cost, I don't even want to know, is probably $7,000, $8,000 a month just to be in business. Between software, insurance, things like that. That's just the bare minimum. So if you think about your minimum charge, I mean, it's kind of hard. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to do nothing but repair work, like shingle repairs, and I've got to bid $1,000 a day, or, you know, I don't know. It'll come with experience, what you want to charge, what you can charge, what days and things you can do for free give backs or whatever. Like right now, I haven't even had time to get the books caught up. I don't even know. I don't even want to, like, guess. I think this might be the first month I'll bring in 6-figure in a month. We just do roofing and gutters mainly. Gutters I don't necessarily even do in-house. We don't get into gutters. I just work with a company. I'm very open and transparent about it. Most people out there sub it out anyways. I don't really get into siding, any of that other stuff. Try running it for a bit. See if the engine starts to break in. What did I miss? Keith, did somebody say something? Oh, up here. Just bought a brand new DeWalt pressure washer. While turning it on, starts stalls a lot and the pressure goes away. Yeah, if it's new, see if there's any kind of warranty and switch it out. But if not, I've had a pressure washer of my own do something weird like that. And if you look at the pump part where the engine's running to feed that, well, first of all, if it's new and you bought it new, you did make sure it had oil, gear oil in the pump, correct? But there is a bypass valve with a spring set, and you can adjust that because the engine's turning, that piston in there's generating pressure. When you spray the nozzle, it's allowing the pressure to run through under high pressure, but when you let go of the nozzle, you hear that slight noise. That's the pressure relief valve kicking, so it can still spin around and bypass. And there's a setting on that, at least on the one I had. You can change that setting to increase or lower the pressure, and if it's not in the right margin, it might do something like you're talking about right there. Not sure if that's the problem, but maybe it'll point you in the right spot if they don't want to switch it out. Any other questions? We're going to wrap it up here in a couple minutes. Get home, get in the shower. Mitchell, we should connect sometime with brother. And I run a roofing company in Columbus, Ohio. It's not too far away. I'd like to learn. Hey, you got so many 5 stars. Mitchell, how do you know I have so many 5 stars? You're doing your due diligence. I'll give you the secret. Actually, for the 15 of you that are in here listening, shh. Just 2 things. It's really simple. Don't tell anyone, okay? Here's the 2 secrets. Just do a good job. Make sure the customer's happy, okay? The second, this is the secret part right here. Ask if they would leave a review. I mean, it's really that simple. When I just started personally asking, hey, would you mind leaving a review? That's when they start going up. Just try it. I don't know how much work and how much volume you do. And there's a lot of people. I mean, if you know I've got a lot of 5-star reviews, you've looked my reviews up, and I don't know, I'm probably like 280 5-star reviews. Honestly, I have no idea. Is my internet on? I don't think my internet's on, otherwise I'd Google it real quick. But there's a lot of people that say they'll leave a review. They're thrilled to death. Everything went great. Communication was better than expected. Job quality is better than expected. No hidden cost was what the job said it was. Sometimes I'm even nice, but like, you know what, to reduce your sheet price or whatever. And just little things like that. You get a ton of people that say they will leave a review, but get busy. Life goes on, I understand. But just simply asking for a review, it goes a long way, and your reviews will start going crazy. That's actually a good tip right there. Appreciate you bringing that up. What advice do I have for a young entrepreneur to make it? I'm probably going to botch your name. Javier? Hover? I don't know. Sorry. Probably said that wrong. It is also hard to see here. What advice do I have for a young entrepreneur? Know your why. Know your why. Have a good, big enough why to just stick it out and go after it and build something big and amazing. I wouldn't even really call myself an entrepreneur. I really got tired of the boss that I would do anything for. and it got to where it was going to cost my marriage. It was a miserable life. I literally wanted to kill myself. It was so bad. For like 3 years, he would not listen to anything, would not take advice, and just, yeah, it's time to move on. So I started this in 2017. I'm 41 years old now, and it took me not even 7 years to become a multimillionaire doing this on my own. And actually, $1 million really isn't a lot of money nowadays. You'd be surprised how fast you can burn through. Well, I mean, everybody knows with inflation right now. You have your own in-house crew. The crew that I work with, I've been with for 13 years. What trade has the highest percentage of divas? Not sure what you're talking about. Well, I mean, I know, like, oh, you're such a diva, but are you talking about, like, what trade has the highest amount of divas? I mean, I don't know. Sorry. Over my head. What's my preferred way to finish ridge cap? Just cover the nail with an extra piece to cover the last row with some adhesive. Most everyone around here just puts sealant over the nails. Are you talking about the actual last piece, or are you talking about how the ridge goes to the end of the roof? Because I know typically we'll run a few pieces of ridge cap, then we'll overlap the ridge vent, and then run our ridge caps over that as well. Some neighborhoods, some people don't like that. They'll be like, oh, it doesn't look right. So we're trying to get more in the habit of, like, here's the whole length of the roof right here like this. It's kind of hard to show. My arm here. Instead of running a few pieces and then bringing the cap over that, we're going to run a few pieces, but then bring the ridge cap all the way to the end, and then run your ridge cap on top of there. But I think what you're asking is that very last piece. Usually shoot it down and seal it. I don't mind that. I've gone to roofs 20, 30 years later, or roofs that have been installed for a really long time with no caulking on a nail, with the nail head sticking up, and it's really not bad. It's not wallered out bad, because the thing is, it's at the highest, most point on the roof, and the only water that gets on that nail is what water hits it. Now, if you got a nail down lower on the roof, yes, big problem. The lower down it is, the bigger the problem. Little sealer is okay. Over a long period of time, yes, the sealer could come off. I have seen a lot of guys where they will actually shoot the last few, take that decorative piece, and just seal it down, but then you have nothing pinning it down, and over time I've seen those actually blow away. I don't have a personal preference. You could go either way. I'd be fine with it. The very last piece, yeah, so now some of them, like TimberTex, GAF, not a fan of, and then they switch to the sealer ridge. You could always just take that top layer up and shoot the one under it because it's kind of bonded, but I'm fine with it. Usually we just shoot it down. Now the bigger thing is not just the sealer with the nail that's pinning that piece of cap down. My bigger pet peeve is the gable end coming up like this here, the very first piece you start running out. If you don't have a starter piece with a seal strip and you just put your ridge cap down, you need to seal that down. So some crews, some people, they'll cut a starter back to get you the a ridge cap back, so it gives you that seal strip. They nail that off close to the edge metal and then put your next piece down. Either way, you want something on that very first piece to stick, if that makes sense. If you're a roofer, you know what I'm talking about. That very first one with no starter under it, they're going to blow loose over time and eventually crease and flip off. What roofing material product do we sell the most of? It's going to be Owens Corning Duration. If you're referring to what brand of shingle, or you're talking about like what components that go with it. 9:53. We'll go a few more minutes. By 10 o'clock, I want to be on my road heading home. Any other questions? Get them in. Best way to replace step flashing on stucco wall. We don't have a lot of stucco in our area. I did bid a big hotel once had a lot of stucco, and I guess my thought with that is if you can't get the flashing behind the stucco, because sometimes it was out far enough, I guess my thought was going to be to discreetly cut a thin line, get it back in there, and have another company try to come in and re-stucco that. I don't know. We never ended up getting that job. They went with some cheap person to do it. Hang on, what did I miss here? I would say nails by the numbers. Are you saying, Keith, nails by the numbers on what roofing component do I sell the most of, or are you referring to the cap you were talking about? You prefer the nail? Dancing alone with rentals. What do guys get paid these days to work on a crew? I don't know. Good question. When I started roofing, I made $8 an hour. I think when I started roofing, that was good pay back in the day. Oh, okay. So you're talking about the nails. Yeah, I just picked up another skid of nails yesterday. We're gonna burn through those. I mean, I'm not a huge company. I don't have multiple salesmen and multiple crews going. It's me selling the work, setting up the jobs, doing a lot of it. I got the crew, and but we're still doing a fair amount of square. Don't even know what I do. A couple, 2,000-3,000 square maybe. Oh, are you talking about like a price per square selling it? $750 a square in central Ohio? Holy hell. God, I want to move to Ohio. There's still people selling work here for sub $400, like $380 a square. It's like mind-blowingly low. By the time you pay all the labor, whether it's in-house or not, all the insurance required to do the work, any truck upkeep and equipment, property if you have it, tools, just the basics, material, huge chunk of it. Trash these days is outrageous. There's like no money to be had. Yeah, Lion, I know he was talking about like labor. That's why I said when I started I made $8 an hour. But if he was just stating that he's $750 per square, I jumped over to that because that's pretty damn good. But again, I mean, you can have a huge difference in market from Kokomo to Hamilton County. 30 minutes south of here is a totally different market. So I couldn't imagine going a state away into a big city. $550 a square. Jesus, for a walkable ranch, one layer. Yeah, on insurance jobs. Even around here, insurance is kind of pain in the ass. Idaho, $550 to $600. Man, walkable ranch house around here, you gotta really be good with your brand. And I mean, like I said, there's still people out here that'll undersell the job, or they cut you your, how should I say this? They'll be cheap, they'll overpromise, they'll just throw a low bid to get the job, and they're selling work. Vehicle shut off, don't shut off. They'll sell the work at like, I'm not shitting you, $370, $390 a square. It's ridiculously low. When you figure like what, $100, $105, $110 a square for most brands, depending upon, like, I think I saw Lowe's has Duration for $105 a square if you buy it in bulk of 78 bundles or something, which most jobs are that size. Then you get your paper, your ice, your apron, your drip, your nails, everything to put that on. I mean, the price per square of material alone, like an average price per job, wow, blows me away. I slowly started creeping my price up. Every time there's a price increase, obviously I got to incorporate that price. But I slowly tried raising my price when the brand started growing, and people can see me. I'm out there on YouTube. They can see the work, the drone footage we do, everything I've done out there over the years. So they build more trust with you. I've actually had people use me because the other competitors, they can't see any of their stuff. They, who knows what they've done. Some guys have like a paper with addresses they say go by, but let's face it, I could make up a list of shit and say, oh yeah, this is stuff we've done. But I feel like the YouTube channel has really helped solidify that, and people will pay more for that. But still, my market here is still beat down. I'm getting my synthetic paper at $45 a roll. Well, 43, 45, somewhere around there for synthetic paper. It's Raptor, but it's misprint. Thought about getting my branded paper. It's about the same price, but you got to buy like 6 skids, 4 skids, 6 skids, something like that. At the time, I didn't have really anywhere to put it, but we just got the new shop up and going this year, so you can buy misprint for the same price. You can get your own branded, but you don't have to buy it by the skids. You can buy it by the roll. Cap nails, I started buying by the skids. It dropped the price. And coil nails, I started buying by the skid and dropped the price. I was actually thinking about driving out to Lafayette tomorrow to get some industrial skid pallet racks so I can actually start putting stuff up there where I park in my shop, where I can back the trailer in under the rack, but then have stock across the top with bulk. I mean, it's stuff you're going to use and burn through. If you're confident that you've got so much to do, you might as well start buying in bulk like that if you can get it cheaper. What is it, Van Boxel? Are they the ones that sell to a lot of people? Get my butt home, I was just thinking about that. Because it is 10 o'clock. Oh, yeah. Well, so I like to be able to back the truck and trailer in, leave it hooked up if I need, and jump in the Humvee or the other truck or something, go home. But I can't have anything in that door coming in. So if I have the racks built up there, I was going to get like 2 10-foot, 12-foot pallet skids so I can pull the 2 dump trailers in, the GT and the Liberty, and then still have all the skids above, and then have the units of wood off to the side, and then the skid steer and other shit that's in the shop. Okay, so I was right. Van Boxel is the one that does a lot of that stuff in bulk, and I think Roofing Insights or Storm Group or Directory, he sells in bulk now too, I believe. Then there's another one. I can't think of it. It's a group, basically a buying group that offers stuff too at discounted rates. All right, we'll take 2 more quick questions if anyone wants to get them in real quick, and we're going to wrap this up. What software do you use in the business? QuickBooks for accounting, RoofSnap for measuring and figuring roof reports out. Roof Squares for sales is the newest one I just started using. It's like a weekly subscription or monthly if you go yearly. That just sounded really confusing probably. Oh shit, there's another pricey one. It's like $1,100, $1,200 a month. I'm trying to think what the name of that was. It's God shit, what is it? I can't even think right now. They do the web stuff. They do the posting on Facebook. Their software integrates on different platforms. It's really easy to run. You can do this GeoJuice tagging and things like that. When I started working with them, they're like, hey, it takes 3 months or so to start seeing some results. Well, I've seen some results. The phone rings a lot now. I don't know if it's just coincidentally or if the software is starting to work, because I think it's been maybe 5 or 6 months maybe I've been using it. But that Surefire Local, I think is what it was called. So Surefire Local, QuickBooks, RoofSnap, JobNimbus. JobNimbus is my CRM software. Had a nice long call with them trying to get some bugs and things figured out, but JobNimbus is really cool. CRM software is very important. That's made me be able to be streamlined, more professional, honestly just earn thousands more and keeping shit together, not forgetting. Then there's some other software I use as far as like YouTube stuff goes, but not really important to the business. Thoughts on Erie Home? uh, like Erie Insurance is one thing. I don't think that's what you're referring to. You're talking about Erie Home, like the company you see putting ads out for Erie Metal Roofs or Erie Homes or something. I don't know if they're all the same or what, but the ads I see on Facebook with Erie Metal Roofs, yeah, I'm not a fan of it. So my old business partner, I was paying him. It's my brother-in-law. I still have him on as a subcontractor to take care of the books, or was. And then a few months back, I was going to pay somebody to take care of it, but I didn't iron that all out, and he had thought I did. So there was some time where it didn't happen. But yes, I still do pay him to do some things, kind of the agreement and the buyout, until his daughter graduates college, which is fine. But yeah, I need to get that off my plate because I don't have time to do it. So I'm trying to find an accountant. There's somebody here I need to talk to in Kokomo. I just haven't had time to go talk to him about doing that, where they can have certain login credential and import bank, credit card, QuickBooks, and just do that for me. But then I have a tax accountant go through everything, and then I don't leave it at that. I also put a lot of time in near end of year tax time, things like that, and setting up on my own tax strategies, tax savings tips. So yes, I do use a CPA to go over it all at the end of the year. Then I do try to do my own stuff, and then we'll have again somebody do the back end stupid legwork. I've got an insurance audit right now I got to finish up. I haven't even started that. I know I may even be past the deadline. That's one of the things I hate. Appreciate that, Mitchell. Well, I want to try to do more of it. It's so much easier to do this than to do the roofs. I'm trying to invest. I had really no retirement growing up. Companies don't want to take care of you. I've seen my dad put a ton of time into a factory to get kicked to the curb and lose his retirement in the last round of negotiations before he retired. So it's really bad to see. It happens all the time now. So I'm grinding hard to build up my own retirement, my own real estate, my own intellectual property, patent rights, things like that. And I want to take a huge step back within about 2 years. Like, I wouldn't say I'm going to be fully retired, but financially retired in 2 years. But I want to shift more into this. I'm not going to quit working. Believe me, I'm not going to be a bump in the log and just sit at the pond all day and fish. I'm just going to be doing a lot more easy stuff. I'm going to do more of a management side of things. But I want to do more YouTube content, because the YouTube content, if you're covering good stuff that people want to know, people want to learn, it should continue and be relevant for a long time. If it helps people, then the monetization helps. You do a roof, you make good money. You quit roofing, the money quits. I've got a patent where I sell something online and it just sells. Nobody calls in sick. I don't have to worry about shit and problems and high school drama, and the check just comes in. That's the kind of stuff I want to get into. All right, well, appreciate it, guys. We're a little past 10, 7 after. Appreciate the comments, the questions, the engagement. As always, without you guys wanting to know and caring or participating and helping, there's really no reason to do it. So hopefully the roofing stays relevant for quite some time. Appreciate it, Keith. You too. Sound like you just got off work not too long yourself. I'm not far. I'm pretty close to home. I think I'm gonna showers number one, grab a beer, and some dinner. I don't know, the last couple nights I've had a stiff back, so I actually had a Lime-A-Rita. Not a Lime-A-Rita, what the hell was that? Berry-Rita. It's like a 11-12% alcohol drink. It was pretty damn good. Yes, damn right I'm voting in 24, although I don't think our votes matter or count. I think shit's rigged. So much shit going on right now. I'm not the kind of guy that says, oh, my vote won't make a difference, so I'm not voting. And I'm not the kind of guy that bitches and not voting. So yes, I'm voting. Always vote. I've voted every single year in any kind of election, local, primary, doesn't matter. I've always voted. America. I couldn't see what that said. I had to really focus on that one. All right, appreciate it, guys. The viewer count's dropping down. It's getting kind of late here. We're ready to get her wrapped up, but I'll try to do another live tomorrow on one of the jobs. We're definitely finishing this one up, probably starting the next one. Then I've got a lot to do. I'm still falling behind on estimates, leak inspections, and things like that. Getting caught up, but they were still coming in faster than I could get them done. A couple weeks, it's just been stressful. Like hell, we had such a tremendous downpour a couple days ago. Last week, it was it was the night or two before the last live stream. I even had water coming in at my house, and the phone was just ringing at 6 a.m. It was a busy day, busy week because of those couple storms back to back. So, wow, did I just see the thumbs up jumped 13 or 31? It went from a single digit this way to double digit vertical. It's kind of odd. All right, we're over an hour now on this live stream. I had no idea. I thought it was going to be a 15-minute drive home. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. Appreciate it, guys. Until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully tomorrow, maybe. We'll see you.